when Matt brought me the script, and I said I think I would like to do this. I'm not sure yet. Who's the other guy? So there was a bunch of videos and so on and so forth, and then I saw Ben's, and I had seen him play the rabbi in that.
Oh, sure. In Jurassic Park.
No.
This Is Where I Leave You.
This Is Where I Leave You, and I said, I love this guy. And then I saw something else, and then I saw a tiny little film. What was the name of the film?
I'm a Mitzvah. Is it a small film, a short film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
Yeah.
With a coffin or something.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
weird,
yeah.
But it was this character in this movie that I went, that's this guy. And so we got on the phone, and we hit it off on the phone, and I knew we were going to do it together. And then he came back from Atlanta. We met in L.A., and I said, well, this is a mitzvah.
It worked out perfect.
And it was just meant to be that way. This guy was such a fun character to play, because on the surface, he's just all this fun, and he's not in control of himself, but he's hiding all these things underneath. So I thought, well, this could really be a great part to play. And it was a different look for me in the movie, so I love doing that he's vulnerable, and he's sort of past his expiration date in some ways. And so he had this cool little black hat, this little pork pie hat that he wore that was like his thing. And so that really helped me. Olivier said I need a nose. He always wore a different nose. So this one, I had a hat.
Peter Hoare, who wrote it, has been sort of one of the truly wonderful collaborations of my life. He's just a brilliantly talented screenwriter. And I'd been looking for something to direct for a long time. I started off in film and producing, and I'd been sort of constantly looking for a film to direct. I'd produced a movie with David Permit and Rick Rosenthal, and then Chris Mangano was working for David at the time, subsequently left and started his own shingle, sent me the script from Peters, which was one of the first things I read that really, I read it and I didn't want to wait till the next morning to call. I wanted to call that night because it was just a story that I didn't feel like I wanted to tell. I felt like I needed to tell.
And the odd thing about it is Peter lived for many years in my hometown. So a lot of the movie is shot in Long Beach, Long Island, where I grew up. So that was another little bonus about it, too.
There was a lot of that sort of odd serendipity. There's a scene in a coffee shop, which I had not communicated to Peter when we were scouting. Turns out it's the coffee shop in Long Beach where he wrote 90% of the first draft of the film was a shooting location.
Just like the idea of there being different versions of generations, and the idea of it doesn't matter if you click and if you feel like you could be friends or be close with this person. It just exists, and it's exactly that. Those two characters at that moment in their lives almost needed each other and almost needed to connect and stuff like that. So we kind of play with that idea. But yeah, the idea, hey, it's okay for those two people to be friends.
You're still talking about the characters, right?
Yeah.
He has a son who won't talk to him. So Ben's character becomes that for me. And we try to help each other. He helps me clean up. We just nudge each other a little bit. And I talked to him a little bit about him personally, which then helps his comedy. So I think, in that way, it's not a in-your-face two-hander that way. I think it's just about life in the best way.
It's two messy people figuring it out.